6 local teams were in action in regional playoffs tonight. We begin at the East River Soccer Complex with both Graham soccer teams. The G-Girls taking on the Lee Generals. Another quick start for the G-Girls. Reagan Tolley sends one into the box. Sophie Scarberry puts it up high and in. Graham leads 1-0 within 2 minutes. Now about 3 minutes later, Ireland Hart shoots one through the box and it ends up going through the keeper's legs. 2-0 Graham. Ella Dales started to get in on the action. She takes the ball and she's going to use her left foot to put it into the back of the net. 3-0 Graham. Dales was far from done. She turns and powers another one past the keeper, her second goal of the match. Not long after that, Hart sends a nice cross into the box. Dales gets her head on it and puts it in the back of the net. A first half hat trick for Dales. She would get another one in the second half as Graham goes on to win 6-0 over Lee and advances to the region semifinals against Gate City. Now to the boys taking on the John Battle Trojans. The G-men started quickly as well. Campbell Fix gets his foot on it and he puts Graham in front. Then not even a minute later, Fix has the ball again. He makes it look just as easy. 2 quick goals for Fix. Now about 4 minutes later, Fix distributing. He finds Reese Aiello, who rockets one past the keeper. It's 3-0 in under 10 minutes. And Graham kept the pedal to the metal. Blake Graham going on a run. He dishes to Aiello. He beats the keeper again. Aiello's second goal. Dennis Thomas contributes to the offense. He finds a little bit of space and he puts it in. Graham up 5-0. Aiello would get a first half hat trick of his own. Graham would win 8-0 over John Battle. The G-men advance to the semis and they will take on Gate City as well.